Gary, I got your message and came over as soon as I could. Did you get me that audition for Sailor Moon on Ice?
Better, Bowden, baby. I'm about to introduce you to the newest sensation in the entertainment industry. Move over, TV. Say bye-bye, motion pictures. Here comes the podcast.
The podcast?
These things are incredible, Bo. Real boffo sacco. It's exactly like radio, but better. Coco invented the whole concept.
Conan O'Brien did not invent the podcast, Gary. I've been pitching Binging Benson with Bowden for years.
Not Conan O'Brien, the Barbarian guy.
Coco the Barbarian is not a real person.
Well, if being a character on a podcast doesn't make you real, then I don't know what does.
All right. Well, what am I booked for?
Well, you're not, but maybe when your vampire movie comes out and you've got a little heat.
Then why did you have me come over here?
So you can listen to it with me. Here, I'll tune the old podcast dial to the station.
That's not how podcasts work.
The world is big and scary, even when you're extraordinary. When life won't go as planned, we all can use a hand. But Coco doesn't talk to me. Coco doesn't seem to see that he needs a friend.
Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to Coco the Barbarian Needs a Friend. I'm your producer, Matt Girly. And with me, as always, our warrior leader and host, Coco the Barbarian.
Thank you, Girlyman.
It's
I'm very
Girly.
happy
Girly.
You shouldn't interrupt me, Matt.
I'm sorry.
This is, as you said, I am Coco the Barbarian. This is my show. It's a good show. Very, it's people come on and they want to be my friend, so it's very nice.
And with us, as always, of course, Coco's erstwhile sidekick and assistant, Red Sona.
Very happy to be here.
Coco, I was reading in Variety today that the podcast is starting to make a bit of a mark, make a bit of a splash. I don't want to imply that you've ever been away, but the headline does read, "Is this Coco's big comeback?"
But yes, I mean, it's silly. Yeah, first of all, I don't like that I'm in a magazine that is just various things. It's just a random sort of variety. I don't really like that. It should be called maybe like Fearsome Warrior magazine or a magazine for shiny muscle men. That is, maybe they could change it.
Playgirl, I think is what you're thinking of.
Yes, that's right.
But you're not a girl.
No, what? That doesn't make any sense.
Never mind. You know what? Print is dead anyway. But we are very excited because, if this podcast continues to gain traction, perhaps we'll be seeing you again on the big screen or perhaps a streaming service.
That's right, of course. I sometimes climb big screens so that I can make it up to the rafters. When you are a hero, you need to do that sometimes. And so maybe I will be on the big screen. I've never climbed a streaming service before, but I would do it.
But you are a very strong swimmer.
That's true. I could swim in the video stream, but so I haven't gone away, everybody. I've been around, and I will be coming to a stream near you to swim.
Do you recognize that when I say streaming service, I don't mean a body of water, but I mean like Netflix?
Well, I haven't heard of that. Is it a river?
No, it's a... How do you get your entertainment, Coco?
Well, what I do is I get my sword and then put it on my back, and then I go out, and then I go and I raid villages, and I destroy the things that they don't like in the villages.
We're in North Hollywood right now.
I know. It's really hard to find them.
A village, yeah. There's not a ton of them.
That's really not.
Very few gestures, too.
I heard of one across on the other side of the country. It was called Greenwich Village. And I went there, but I couldn't find any thatched roofed houses or,
So much concrete.
I
It's
bet you
true.
met a lot of other sweaty muscle men, though.
Well, yes, I did. Yes. Didn't we? Sona went with me.
It was a very, very sweaty place.
Not very productive, though. I brought my sword.
Very little stabbing.
There hardly any at all. Maybe only like 2 or 3 times did I do this
Ooh.
stabbing.
Yeah, I think, we've tried to talk about this before. You are very reluctant to give up your sword and axe. Security here really insists we have to lock them up.
It's ridiculous.
It's just that, you were in the news recently. It's how you came to my attention. I have to admit, I didn't realize you were still out there doing the barbarian thing. And
Well,
when
we
I
probably don't talk about it if it doesn't come up in the Variety.
Well,
that they
exactly.
put in our
It had not.
magazine.
It had not been in Variety until I saw there was an incident with you and your sword at the NoHo In and Out.
Well, sure. I mean, it says in and out, and so Sona suggested that
You put the sword in.
That's-
You put the sword out.
that's correct. Yes, that's what I thought, and
you put it in and then out again, and then you get your burger.
That's what I figured, especially since it is a place where people go to eat burgers. I figured that the burgers had to be killed somehow with a sword, and so I was looking around.
There were
for-
no cows.
There were no cows there.
Yeah, but right into the regional manager.
Well, he was sort of had his back turned, and he was wearing a shirt that had like a black spot here and a black spot there. I really thought that this is how
Just a bipedal cow.
that's
Hollywood cow.
bipedal.
A Hollywood cow. Yeah. Well, I mean, on the plus side, you missed all his major orderies, and he has survived. I know there's a pending lawsuit that we're not allowed to discuss.
Yes, and he never got a burger.
That's right. I was really upset about it. I mean, he's all upset. Oh, you stabbed me, but I'm the one who didn't get the burger.
That's true. I suppose that is not
Consider a countersuit.
not the greatest customer service, I suppose.
No, it's terrible customer service.
Now,
Would it-
Coco, you fancy yourself a king.
That's right. Of course, I am a king.
So
The king.
That's
I'm curious.
right. Thank you,
in
Sona.
your search for burgers, have you considered Burger King?
I have thought about it, but I just thought it brings up too many questions.
Such as?
Well, is the Burger King? Who are the Burger King subjects? Is the Burger King the king of burgers? It's not very, not very
a good
powerful.
king.
No,
No.
not a good king. Just being the king of burgers. Burgers cannot do anything for you. You cannot collect taxes from burgers.
They won't bow to
Yeah,
you.
that's right. That they don't even genuflect.
I suppose that's true.
And-
And so, what would the alternative be? A king made of burgers?
Well, I thought of that too, but I don't really want to be made of burgers. Right now, I am made of muscle and, skin and bones and arteries and hair and various things. I like being made of those things. I don't want to be made of burgers because if I'm made of burgers, then how will I swing my sword?
He would be too greasy.
That's correct.
I mean, you're already kind of great. I mean, don't take it the wrong way, but you glisten. You glisten is what I'm trying to say.
It's the good greasy.
Of course. How do you not know this? There's a very big difference between
The bad greasy and the good greasy.
Exactly. Burgers being, of course, in the bad grease. Well, it's sometimes yummy, but mostly when compared.
But for kings.
No, it's not a grease for king.
I'm not that familiar with good grease versus bad grease. I mean, grease 1, good. Grease 2, not good.
Well, that's true, because the kings over the years, if they were made with grease too, that's the bad grease.
bad
It
grease,
doesn't
the
go
bad
very
grease.
well.
Bog.
That's true. Bog. It was had the bad grease.
The bad grease.
Bog?
Yes.
I'm-
Yes.
King Bog.
King
Oh.
Bog of Bogland.
Oh, I'm not familiar. I'm
Well,
embarrassed
you
to say.
probably have never heard of King Bog because
He's reading Variety.
he's reading Variety. It didn't show up in the random list of various things. And also because King Bog was always covered in bad grease. No one wants to remember King Bog. Smelled bad and was...
He swings his sword and it just...
It was,
Right
yeah,
out.
we go right out of his hands.
I
He
can
didn't
see-
know
Embarrassing.
how to
That
do
would be
it right.
problematic. Yeah.
Yes.
Hard to hold on to your kingdom that way.
Yeah, that's exactly the problem.
That's, yes, Girly Man.
It's never mind. For those of you who are tuning in for the first time, our hope on this show is that Coco will be returning to the big screen
That's
or
right.
perhaps a streaming service, even if he doesn't know what that is. And so we're bringing different guests onto the show, getting to know them, and maybe Coco and Red Sona will invite them to be a part of their new franchise plans.
It depends. We're a very tough duo over here.
It's true. So far, you've not selected anyone at all, and
Matt, are you talking about yourself again? We told you, Matt, we cannot have a Girly Man on a team.
it's Girly, and I just want the producer credit. I've said that many times. I don't need to go on the adventures. I don't need to be in the adventures, but a
I
producer
don't
credit would
understand
really
why
help.
you keep talking about produce. We don't need... All
It's
Coco
true.
needs is meat
We,
and bread
yes,
and liquor.
that's true.
We don't need produce.
We already have a meat monger. We already have a liquor monger. And we already have...
Well, the in and out, maybe we need new source of...
Oh, that's true. I hadn't thought of that. In and out was going to be on
But we
meat
don't
monger.
need
All right,
produce.
you don't
Yes,
need
we don't need
you know what? I'm not
produce.
going to bring any produce to the table, but let's see what our guest for today brings to the table. I'm really, I don't know if excited is the word, but with us today is the legendary understudy, Larry Hastings. Larry? Yes, hello, thank you. This is Larry Hastings, Bass-Baritone, and I am effervescent to be Coco the Barbarian's line friend? Yeah, yes, friend. I am effervescent to be Coco the Barbarian's friend. Hello.
Well, effervescent seems pretty good. Is that is that related to Greece in any way?
I once, very controversially, I played Frenchie in a dinner theater production of Grease. I thought it was very good.
Was it the good Greece or the bad Greece?
Well, he said French, so he must have been a French fry.
That's okay. That's a good. I don't know. That's a little on the fence in terms of good or bad. Greece could go either way.
Go either way.
I've never played a French fry. I did once spend an entire summer playing Mr. Pibb at a children's amusement park.
And Mr. Pibb is Mr. Pibb, an adventurer. Does Mr. Pibb carry an axe or a flail?
Pickaxe.
He had a
Pickaxe,
straw
yes.
coming out of his head. He's a cup of soda.
Yeah, it doesn't sound very...
Not very good for
Yeah,
stabbing.
no.
Well, stabbing the children was frowned upon. They made that very clear.
Well, I suppose you don't usually stab the children. But sometimes you need to stab the children,
Sometimes, you know, Mr. Bass-Baritone, we will not hinder your creative energy
That's
in
true.
that way.
Well, I can't tell you how refreshing that is to hear.
Yes.
Because I've made most of my career as an understudy, meaning I sort of have to copy what other people have done, and I really feel that it's limited my
Good grease.
range.
And I suppose you have to do it underneath something. Would you do it under a table? Where do you do the studying that is underneath?
Does it make it harder to fit with the straw coming out of your head?
The straw?
Yes,
Oh,
Mr. Pibb
oh yes,
straw
oh the
of
Mr.
death.
Pibb straw. Well, that is a rare case where I was not understudying, but I indeed originated that role as Mr. Pibb. But when I'm understudying, well, sometimes I'm under a table, I must admit, but other times I'm on the couch or just walking or standing. Sometimes I'm pretending to be in a car. I once did Oklahoma on a pantomime horse.
Very interesting. I like to get on a horse myself sometimes,
well,
ride around.
Very rarely do they let you work with live animals such as a horse on a stage. Maybe a dog. If you're lucky, you'll do gypsy with a sheep.
I understand how you feel. They won't even let me bring my sword in here.
Well, that's an affront, sir.
That is, yes.
Who is preventing this man from his props?
I don't know, Matt, girly man. Who is preventing me from bringing in the sword in here?
It's building security, Coco. You can't bring actual... These are not prop weapons. These are actual sharp
If he
weapons.
has his sword, we will all be more secure. If anybody
very
tries
true.
to cause trouble, he'll just slice him up.
I always say, look for the good guys with the swords.
That's good, yes. I mean, sometimes you have to look for them so that you can fight them.
You have to fight the other good guys
Well,
with swords?
sometimes, you got to beef up.
Well, I've been there, let me tell you.
How else will you get to the top?
I've played Laertes 17 times.
Oh, what did you play with Laertes?
No, I inhabited the role. I became Laertes.
Ah, I once did that with a bear.
A bear?
Yes, I killed it and then I wore its coat and I inhabited the bear.
My goodness. I've been pitching for many years a stage production of The Revenant. I think I would be great as the bear.
Ah, yes, very good. Well, you have to kill a bear first and then you can wear its skin.
I'm not much of a hunter, I must admit.
Ah, well, that's okay. There's many different roles that can be played in an adventuring party. Is that right, Sona?
Yes, there's hunter, but there's also
Yes, I'm
carrier.
having trouble thinking. The carrier,
you
yes,
can carry
that's
our
true.
stuff so that we can do stabbing.
That's true. We do have a lot. Yes.
I'm sorry, I must draw the line there. I am no gopher. I have well passed the point of
don't
carry.
worry, we'll stab all the gophers if they bother you.
Well, no, I am no one's carry boy.
Ah, that's what I said before too. When they told me in the in and outs that I should take my stuff and leave, I said I'm not a carry boy. I do not carry my own stuff except for my sword. I carry that.
See, I think your mistake there was you just should have specified that you wanted to dine in.
Ah,
Yes, otherwise
we were missing.
Yes, they assume you wanted to go. And let me tell you, I don't know if this has ever happened to you, but I've been in many an in and out. And you forget to say this is for here, and they give it to you in a bag, and you're like, well, I don't have anywhere to go. I don't have a car or a house or
a horse, apparently.
or a horse. And so I want to eat here. So I take my to-go bag and I sit at one of the many booths. And then the manager comes over and goes, sir, this is for dine-in only. And I said, well, I want to dine in. He goes, but you've got a to-go bag. You must go. It's very frustrating.
That does sound very frustrating. I myself had issues with In and Out. I feel that they do not let people do things that they want to do. They like murder cows.
Or go in and go out.
Yes.
Honestly, if they're going to be that strict about it, it should be called in or out.
Yes,
Yes,
that is
yes,
true. That's what
yes.
they should call it.
And swords only out.
Matt, you look like you had something you wanted to say about this.
Well, I mean, I think that, I think bringing swords into In and Out, or really any fast food chain, not a great idea. Not a great idea.
I find that they tend to serve much faster.
Well, that might be the case, but I think, the people in the In and Out, typically not your enemies, no need to slaughter them. They just want to give you a burger and a shake. And by shake, I mean a frosty beverage, not they don't actually want to physically shake you.
Well, that's good because I wouldn't let them.
Believe me, I know.
And
they would
wouldn't
have
be
a
able
hard
to.
time. I'm very greasy,
It's
but
very
with a good
greasy.
kind of
Just
grease, they would
slide
have a
out.
hard. Yes,
Now, let me ask you,
yes, Larry.
because I have to say, Coco, seeing you in person, You remind me of a young Bette Midler. And she taught me a great secret, and I wonder if the secret is one that you have as well. Peanut oil, head to toe, before you go on stage. It just gives you a glisten.
Peanut oil is, in fact, what is that on your list, Sona, of the good oils?
It's on the list of the okay oils. Some places say you can't have peanuts.
Oh, it's true. You must be careful, as so many people are allergic nowadays.
Mm-hmm. And, if we're going to pick peanut oil or swords, obviously we're choosing the sword.
Well, that's true, yes. Sometimes you have to choose one or the other. But I'll give you my list of good oils. You can get them.
It would be
I think
an honor,
peanut
sir.
oil might be towards the bottom, but it's there.
But it's still good. Just
yes.
not the good of the good.
Right, and I don't know what kind of sword Bette Midler was carrying. Maybe it was one that the peanut oil goes well with. But sometimes people have sword allergies that they have to have a certain kind of sword.
If you get stabbed by accident.
I seem to recall she was deathly allergic to the rapier. I do seem to recall.
Yes, it sometimes
See, that'll
happens
do it.
with you.
That'll do it.
Yes,
Yes.
I didn't like it.
But the other thing about Bette, and let me tell you, I can tell this is absolutely... You must have Bette on the show.
Oh,
you must have Bette on the show.
Oh.
Because when I was touring with Beth back in the day, I think not a performance went by that she didn't slit someone, navel to head and just wear the skin.
Ooh. Girlyman. Why have we not had her on the show yet?
Well, she's a difficult book, as they say. Really, she only, Bette's sort of done what Bette needs to do, and, she
Then let her come and join a new quest.
That's true. Slitting someone from the navel up into the mouth, that checks off like 10 things on our list of
and
what
our
we're
list
looking
is
for.
only like 11 things
That's
long.
true.
I mean, I'll see, but, her and Streisand, sort of reclusive, but I'll do my best, I promise.
Is Streisand allergic to any swords?
Probably all of them.
No,
Probably
I don't
all.
know.
Maybe not her. Then.
Yeah, you're not going to get her to leave the house. You're going to have to go to her anyway.
Curious.
But you know the interesting thing about Streisand? She has a whole underground city under her house. Yes, it's her private shopping mall.
A private shopping mall underneath the house?
Oh yes, it's quite legendary.
And
also, she clones all her dogs.
And to eat them?
No, I think just to cuddle them.
I don't think we need to have Streisand on the show.
no.
But I would like to inquire about the underground lair. Any dungeons in there?
Villages?
I think all you have to do is ask James Brolin about that, if you know what I mean.
No.
Neither do I really.
So, Larry, I want to know, what are the sort of projects that you're working on these days? What's exciting in your life?
Well, the truth is I've not worked in some time. There was a incident with one of the Olsen twins that's sort of gotten me banned from around town. But I have got a couple of engagements coming up. I will be reprising my role of Mr. Pibb once again this summer at Dorney Park and Wildwater Kingdom in Allentown, Pennsylvania. You can find me at the refreshment stand by Steel Force.
Steel Force was the name of a previous sword that I had.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Perhaps is this roller coaster forged from the steel of your Steel Force?
Well, it might be. I lost Steel Force when I was slaying a wild boar.
What was this kingdom you were talking about?
The Wildwater Kingdom.
That sounds like maybe it's the same. Like wild boar, wild water. I bet that's what it was.
Wild.
You did say you wanted to conquer streaming.
Strange coincidence.
This might be the place to start.
I suppose
There's a
I would like to
stream
get
in
that
the
sword back.
Wildwater Kingdom.
It's more of a wave pool.
Interesting.
I think there's something here, though.
Yes. I'll go to the people and I'll wave at them
You
at
know,
the wave pool, and maybe they will tell me if my sword is
Well,
there.
if you're looking for a good time, I do get 2 guest passes per week. They're only good after 5 o'clock, but please, let me know. I'd be happy to pass you in.
Well, this is good. We like people who have resources
Yes.
and power.
You can be our entrance man.
That's true. We do need an entrance man. I was just saying that when we walked into the in and out.
Somebody to open doors.
Well, again, I feel like an actor of my stature has doors opened for him. I don't open doors for others.
You already have an entry person?
Well, typically it's the stage manager. They're very handy. If you don't have a stage manager on your little party, I think that's something you should look into right away. They're very good at giving you your cues, telling you when to move, telling you when a light's about to fall on your head, when that happens more often than I'd like to admit. And, of course, they're very good at reminding you of your, lines.
All right, Matt, write that down. We need a stage manager for our group.
Well, yeah, it's definitely it's on the list, Coco. It's on the list.
Good.
Good,
That's
good,
very
good.
Okay, Sana, what questions do you have for Larry?
Well, let's see. Larry,
Yeah.
have you ever had to fight a mountain goat with your bare hands?
Oh, once.
How did it go?
Not great. But let me tell you, that was
For the mountain goat?
It
or
was
for you?
It was the wildest production of Sound of Music I have ever been in. I was playing Captain Von Trapp, and it was a very experimental production. We were doing it on location in Austria. And so there we were on the hill with this lonely
I've heard of Austria.
goat herd. And let me tell you, you would think, when the music starts, the goats are going to be like, all into it. It really frightened them, and it kicked poor Julie Andrews right in the gut. And I dove in. I dove in to protect my dear Jules, as I call her. We go way back, Jules and I. And that goat herd and I, we locked horns, and we wrestled.
The entire herd.
Well, no, it was just me and the leader. You could tell he was the leader. He had the biggest horn.
That's smart, go for the leader.
And unfortunately, I don't remember much. About 6 months later, I woke up in the hospital. Julie Andrews, by the way, nowhere to be seen. They were like, oh, she was here, but then, she had to go make a movie. And I was like, oh, sure, Jules. It's all peaches and cream when it's late at night in a lonely Austrian hotel. But when things get tough and old Larry's in a coma for 6 months, off you pop.
Is Julie Andrews allergic to any swords?
I've never asked.
Now, did you get the goat skin to
She
wear?
did do Camelot.
Did you make a crown with his horns?
Well, I don't really know.
Did you make a goblet from his skull?
Well, again, I
None of it?
I'm sad to say I was not the victor in this story.
This is all a real mark for you on the
Oh,
back
dear.
column, Larry. I'm very sorry to say it, but, goats are sort of like the...
Very basic.
Yeah, the basic one, the sort of level 1 of killing and wearing the skins is the goats.
Oh, this is Bette Midler all over again. Fighting goats, not really my thing. Although, have you had Matthew McConaughey on? Because I think that's his thing.
Well, we'll have to get them on.
Girlyman, add him to the list.
That's right.
Anyone
Who fights goats can come on the show. It's level 1, so if you can do it, you can come on.
But my many talents are of the theatrical nature. Perhaps you would need a soliloquy done or a song sang, something in the bass-baritone range, perhaps.
Well, we do have an opening for a fool.
Yes, we do. We do.
A fool, eh?
That's right. Sometimes you want to have one.
A jester.
Yes, it's important for your party to have one because what you do is when you're, say you're going to be attacking a number of goats, you have the fool go stand on the other side and they wave around and the goats, you distract them while you come up with your sword and you cut the goats in half.
And then in the evening, when you're drinking from your new goat goblets, you need a little entertainment.
Oh, I love it when we remember that jester that we had,
Yeah.
Harleton.
Harleton.
Harleton was great.
He was
What happened to this Harleton? Did he get a spin-off? Did he get his own
Oh,
show?
Harleton
He
did get a
did.
spin-off.
Yes.
I spun his head right off his shoulders by accident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
It's fun. I was swinging my sword around, sort of showing Harleton how it worked, and Harleton stepped a little too close.
So you would be both the star and director of this little project? Is that what I'm inferring?
He's the king.
That's right, I'm the king. So I do direct people. I tell them to go and get my pheasant and, different things. But I also, what was the other thing you said? Direct and something else?
A star.
Oh, yes. Well, right, of course.
Well, the king is the
king
son
is the
of his kingdom.
That's right. Yes. So I shine very brightly. Very
Well, you certainly-
effervescent, as you might say.
You certainly glisten.
That's right. It's
the good grease.
It's a good grease. That's the first thing you need to know.
Well, I'm certainly glad to hear that Michelle Pfeiffer won't be involved in this. We have a thing. Well, I have played the fool once or twice, so if you would be willing to have me, well, I would be more than happy to come on board.
I think that, Sona and I are going to do a quick...
We'll think about it.
That's right. We'll think about it.
Think about
we'll
it and
decide.
Maybe
and
have some burgers.
so, Sona and I are going to have a quick conference to decide. Sona, I think the goats, I don't know.
I mean, I think he won't even spin that much if you cut his head off.
Well, that's true. I don't know, but it would be good to have a fool. I really miss Harleton.
I know. Will he keep up? He said he won't carry anything.
That's true. I do like to make the fool carry things and fall down sometimes.
Right,
Yes.
that's the best
Oh,
part.
no! Oh, dear, my pants seem to have fallen down. Oh, I hate when this happens.
I tell you what, Larry, you're welcome to the team.
Oh, Kaloo-Kalay! Oh, this is wonderful. Shall we discuss my fee?
You mean feet? We do.
You have two of them.
Yes, that's right.
No, my
fools are so funny they forget what's on their bodies.
my contractual fee. Will this be SAG minimum? Perhaps a little bit more. Larry hasn't worked in a while. Could really use that health insurance.
Well, if you feel like you're sagging, we can get you a belt.
That's true, Matt. What do you think?
We can definitely get him a belt. In fact, I insist on it. Larry, obviously, if this moves forward, we'll be in touch. Are you with CAA? Are you with WMA? I represent myself currently, so just give me a ring-a-ding. You have my number. It's the it's the payphone outside the In-N-Out. But no one ever said being an actor was easy, and I'm out here trying to make it on my own in Hollywood after many a theatrical exploit. And it's not been the easiest time for old Larry. So I would really, I will work for a belt. It's true.
Well, Larry,
Fantastic.
that's great. We're going to get you a belt and also a hat with some bells on it. And so...
Maybe some shoes for his feet.
That's
with
true, the
bells,
two
too.
of them that he has that he forgot about.
You two have made me the happiest man in the world.
That's of good fool, happy life. That's what they
Yes,
say.
Just one final question.
Yes.
Do you validate parking?
Well, what did you think?
That was the most juvenile, nonsensical, and base thing I have ever heard. You have got to get me on that podcast.
Coco the Barbarian Needs a Friend was created, produced, and edited by J. Michael DeAngelis. Music and sound effects by Pete Barry. Executive producers Pete Barry, J. Michael DeAngelis, John Dowgin, and Paige Klaniecki. This is a completely real celebrity interview podcast. But if it weren't, then Coco the Barbarian and Gary were played by Bob Killion. Red Sona was played by Ashley Banks. Larry Hastings was played by J. Michael DeAngelis. And special guest star Dave Stanger played Bowden Montcrief. I'm Matt Girly, and definitely no one else. This has been a Porch Room production, copyright 2025, Extraordinary Missions Limited.
Another quality podcast from the Porch Room.